igen, men... January 20th, 2013. The phone rings. The alarm clock on the bedside table read 4:07 a.m. My mother frantically answered the phone in the middle of the night and asked, "Why are you waking me up?" There was an unfamiliar voice on the other end of the line. It was a police officer. He asked my mother, "Ma'am, is your son Vincent Lanci?" She confirmed. He went on to say, "We can't say much over the phone right now, but you have to fly down to Tampa immediately. Your son has been the victim of a horrific hit-and-run accident and may not make it through the night." It pains me that my mother had to receive this phone call in the middle of the night. I use this phone call as my motivating fuel. I was walking home from a friend's birthday on one cold January evening with the intention of going to sleep. Unfortunately, I never made it home that night. I was struck by an intoxicated driver and left for dead in the middle of the road during the middle of the night. I wasn't even supposed to make it through that night, let alone have the privilege of speaking to you all today, but here I am. Now, how is everyone doing today? Come on, we could do better than that. How is everyone doing today? Well, this event is going to be extremely valuable and extremely fun for you all, so I'm so glad that you could make it. So let's get started. This is who I am. I am a survivor. I would love to share my journey of getting through the worst and most horrific adversity that is unimaginable to face, but I am here. I would like to take a moment and speak from the heart and the mind. Sometimes I have to refer to my note card. Why? Not because I'm unintelligent, not because I'm unprepared, and certainly not because I'm lazy. I have to use my note card because I have to, because of my brain injury, my short-term memory disability. In our own eyes, each of our own adversity is the worst, whether it be a bad relationship, a poor test grade, or even worse, an illness. Each of our own adversities is the biggest obstacle to each of us. And I'm not here to tell you anything today. I'm here to share my journey with you. If the dots don't connect on how to overcome your adversity at the end, please feel free to challenge me. So my name is Vincent Lanci, and I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. I am also the founder and owner of Strive to Lead. I was born in Huntington Hospital in New York and graduated from Northport High School in that same state. Ever since I was a kid, I always knew the importance of giving back to the community. I participated in food drives during Thanksgiving, toy drives during the holidays, and even visited the Veterans on Veterans Day to let them know just how thankful I am for their service. I was always in great physical shape as I played baseball, cross country, and wrestling. However, my mental and emotional health was not where it should have been because I did not understand the importance of working out those muscles at the time. But look, I already shared with you guys that when I was 21 years old, I was faced with some major adversity. My doctors looked at me and said, "Vin, what are you willing to do to make a change and rebound from this horrific situation?" I looked at my doctors and said, "Doc, I'm willing to do literally anything." You have to be so motivated to where you're at the point where you are willing to do absolutely anything to succeed. If you aren't motivated, then I can't help you. You have to want it. I went through countless therapy sessions. I also went through countless appointments, neither of which task was easy to stay positive through, but I wanted it. Can you imagine losing your mobility? A big one, because it took me many, many months to understand how to drive a car again. Can you imagine not understanding a sentence? Because it also took me many, many months to understand how to read a book again, but I did it. The reason I shared part of my story with you all today is because it took a hell of a lot more than great physical shape to get back on my feet. I had to strengthen myself physically, mentally, and emotionally to yield the results to make a difference in this world. But I could teach you guys a lifetime of questions today. One being to always do the right thing. The way our mind works is that we always need some form of an end result, right? Our expectations are that things will always work out. For example, We go to the store. We put the address in our GPS. We follow the directions. We make sure we follow the speed limit. And our expectation is that we will arrive at our destination. When we have an exam approaching, we go to the library. We read the textbook. We make flashcards. We study all of the relevant material. We put our due diligence of time to ensure that we will do well because our expectation is that we will earn a high grade on the exam. Another example is when you leave the bar to walk home. You also follow the directions. You look both ways before crossing the street. You walk on the sidewalk or the bicycle lane or just somewhere off to the side of the road. And your expectation is that you will get home safely. By not getting in the car with an intoxicated driver or driving drunk, your expectation is that you will arrive home safely because you made the correct decision. Life is funny, guys. Even by making the correct decision, something horrific happened. It wasn't fair, but that's just life. The next thing I want to share with you guys is called a Vinnyism. That's right, a Vinnyism. When I was in the hospital, my mother kept a journal of my daily progress along with all the ridiculous and outrageous things I said and was going through. How many of you have heard of Dr. Jerry Buss? A few of you? Well, Dr. Jerry Buss was the majority owner of the Los Angeles Lakers before he passed away. He came to visit me one day in the hospital. At Tampa General Hospital, me and Jerry were great friends. Best friends. We spent countless hours just shooting the shit and hanging out. I still have vivid memories of this moment, which is peculiar because it was a dream. He brought me 2 gifts when I was in the hospital. One was a picture of my dog Lincoln and I. I had a huge German Shepherd Doberman mix that was probably bigger than me. But you'd think someone my size would go for a dog a little smaller. And the other gift was a pound of chocolate. A pound of chocolate, crazy, right? Soon after waking up, I realized that that pound of chocolate was simply me going to the bathroom in my hospital bed in the middle of the night. This is how crazy a brain injury is. This is how serious a brain injury is. It is extremely scary, extremely frustrating, and extremely confusing. With a brain injury, you have such a difficult time separating dreams from reality. I wouldn't wish a traumatic brain injury upon my worst enemy. So when I got back to New York to rehab, Dr. Jerry Buss died. When I got back up north, my sleep schedule was all off. I went from sharing a hospital room with 6 to 8 patients at one point to having a room all alone in New York. So when I was in New York, I woke up at about 5 a.m. one day, ran to put on SportsCenter like a normal morning, saw that Jerry Buss died. I go up to my father, I say, "Dad, Jerry died. Why didn't he tell me he was sick?" My dad just looked at me and said, "Gee, Vin, I don't know." He responded that way because he still knew how fragile my brain was. But in life, we often listen to what other people have to say or their expectations about how great we will be or how smart we will be one day. Whether it be your parents, your teachers, your friends, or your doctors. The doctors told my mother that I may never make it through the night. Fortunately for me, I couldn't hear those doctors. That determination was up to me. Only I knew the odds. I beat their odds, not mine. 100% of the lessons that I learned were entirely up to me. The ball was in my court. Solely me, not them. You see, being in a coma may have been a good thing to come out of my whole process. It's funny to say that, but why? Because I wasn't worried about other people's opinions. You know, I chose to work with Brain Injury Services for this event. Brain Injury Services' mission is to provide children and adults with a brain injury with the skills and confidence that they need to lead productive and fulfilling lives. The reasons I chose them are quite simple. One reason is that 95% of their clients agree that Brain Injury Services has helped them improve their lives. The other, that they serve over 500 families per year, including 80 children. That is an astounding number. But it's more important for me not only to inspire, but to teach as well. I read this quote the other day that I found so fitting for this event. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. Now, I know I've shared a lot of information with you guys today, so what stuck out to you guys as noteworthy, funny, or important? The dreams? What about the dreams? Yeah, the dreams are a serious problem. You know, you really can't separate the dream from reality. I thought I was with an NBA owner, and I was dreaming. But remember we talked about earlier how the correct decision doesn't always equal the right ending? You know, that's just life, and that's just adversity. Things are going to come your way. They're going to keep knocking you down. But it's how you react to that situation and get up is how you're defined. Thank you guys for all coming out.